Welcome to Easy Elimo Learning Simplified. My name is Eric. I'll be taking you through the topic greatest common divisor, and for this lesson we'll be looking at applications of GCD. So we'll start by analyzing some of the problems involving GCD, and then I will start from simple problems involving GCD, then we'll proceed to those that are a little bit complex, and then we'll give you some sample questions at the end of the session to help you with practice and also just to help you check on your understanding of the concept. So we have the first example here displayed on the screen where you are supposed to determine the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number of times. So we have three tanks which are capable of holding 36, 84 and 90 liters of milk respectively. And then the question is that you are supposed to determine the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number of times. So sometimes when these words are used in a question, so when these words are used, greatest, highest, longest, then you know that is most likely to be a concept of GCD. You know, when you use the word greatest, highest, longest, you see, that is likely to be a problem on GCD. And of course, it's important that you also analyze the question well so that you get to understand what is the idea within the question. So here, finding the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number of times, we are finding the capacity of a vessel that can divide into 36 exact number of times, and the same number, the same value. For example, if the capacity is 12, it should be able to divide into 84 exact number of times, and that number should also divide into 90 exact number of times. And now you are able to see how we are arriving at, the GCD, because that is just the same thing that we have been discussing about the GCD, the greatest value of a number that can divide into a given group of numbers an exact number of times without leaving any remainder. And take note of greatest. Remember, we talked of 2, 4, and 8. The greatest common divisor here is 2. Yes, so if this was liters, then the greatest vessel that can fill, these exact number of times would be 2 liters. That is the greatest capacity, So that simply means that we need to find the GCD of these three numbers, and that will be the answer. So you can decide to use any of the methods that you feel is most appropriate or is easier for you to use. Remember, we have previously discussed about the three methods that can be used to find the GCD of numbers. We have discussed about listing method. We have discussed about successive division method, which tends to be the most popular approach actually when it comes to finding the GCDs of numbers. Then there is the prime factorization method. All these we have discussed in the previous videos. Possibly if you missed out on that, you can check so that at least you are at par. You get to know what's supposed to be done when you're finding the GCD of numbers. So for this lesson, I'm going to use successive division method. So we have 36, 84, and 90. So when you're finding the GCD of these numbers, you have to find a prime factor that can divide all of them, and normally it is more appropriate that you start with the smallest prime number that can divide all. And in this case, application of divisibility tests is most appropriate. So you start with the smallest prime number, which is 2, and then you check whether the first number here is divisible by 2. Yes, it is, because the last digit is even. Remember, that is the condition for a number to be divisible by 2. The last digit must be even. This, again, the last digit is even, so it's divisible by 2. The last digit is 0. So you divide by 2. Take note that this number here should be a factor of all 36, 84, and 90. So 36 you divide by 2 is 18, and 84 divided by 2 is 42, and 90 divided by 2 is 45. So again, you try to find a number that can divide all these numbers, that is 18, 42, and that's why we call it successive division. So you divide successively until when you cannot get a number that can divide, you cannot find a prime number that can divide all of them. So 2 is not possible because 45 here is not divisible by 2. 45 doesn't end in an even number, neither does it end in a 0. So we try 3. So 3 divisibility test for 3 is that the sum of the digits should be a number that is divisible by 3. Like 18, 1 plus 8 is 9, 9 is divisible by 3, so 18 is divisible by 3. 42, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 is divisible by 3. So 42 is divisible by 3. 45 again, 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 is divisible by 3. So if you do that, this is 6, that is 1, 4, 14, and this is again 1, 5. Now, when you reach there, I don't know whether you'll be able to get a prime number that can divide 6, 14, and 15. Possibly no. So we stop at that. So we say once you reach a point when you cannot find a number that can divide the 3 of them, of course, a prime number, remember we're talking about a prime number, that can divide the 3 of them, then you stop. Then you just go ahead to multiply this 3. So we talk of GCD of 36, 84, and 90 equals to 6. So in answering the question, we are talking about capacity of the greatest. Capacity of the greatest vessel, which can be used to fill each an exact number of times is 6 liters. So you must remember to answer the question that is asked. Remember, the question is determine the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number of times. So the GCD of the 3 numbers is that, but now you have to answer the question appropriately. So you frame your answer as the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each tank an exact number of times is 6 liters. We have another example here, example number 2, where we are talking about we are asked what is the greatest mass that can be taken in an exact number of times from 144 grams to 116 grams and then 126 grams. So again, the word greatest has been used here. So that already is giving us an indication or a sign that this is likely to be a problem on GCD. So ideally, we are supposed to find the GCD of these numbers. So of course, you have to analyze the question and get to understand the question or the problem, so that you see the most appropriate approach to take. So here we just need to find the GCD of these numbers. So 144, 216, and 126. So again, we have 2. All of them are divisible by 2. You can see all the numbers here ending in even numbers. So 72, 108, 63. Now, the last one here is not divisible by 2. The last one here is not divisible by 2. So can you try 3? So this number 72, how do you know whether it's divisible by 3 or not? You simply sum up the digits. So 7 plus 2 is 9, and 9 is a multiple. 9 is divisible by 3. So that means 72 is divisible by 3. Again, here, 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 plus 8 is 9, and 9 is divisible by 3. So the number 108 is divisible by 3. Again, 63. So 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. So the number 63 is divisible by 3. So this is going to be 2, 4. This is going to be 3, 6. And this is going to be 21. So again, all these numbers are divisible by 3. You can do the test again. So we have 8, 12, and 7. So when we reach there, like where we are now, it's not really possible to find a prime number that can divide all the 3. So you stop there, and then you simply multiply these. So again, GCD of 144, 216, 126 equals 2 by 3 by 3, and that is going to give us 6 by 3, which is 18. So the greatest mass, that is now answering the question that is asked, the greatest mass that can be taken in an exact number of times is 18 grams. So these are simple questions that are not really hard to tackle. So let's look at now, let's look at this example number 3, which should be the last example for this lesson. So we have 3 masses of sugar, which are grouped into 0.36, 0.504 kilograms, and 0.672 kilograms. Find the greatest mass. Again, you can see the word greatest has been used. So find the greatest mass of sugar that can be taken in an exact number of times from the 3 masses. So you see now this is having decimals. So how do you do? How do you go about it? Remember, here we are talking about factors. For us to call them factors, it means they are no decimals. So what do you do? So what you do, because these are decimals, you will try to convert them to grams first. Then, because here the instruction is that we give the answer in kilograms, you'll just find the greatest mass in grams, and then you remember to reconvert it back to kilograms. So let's see. So mass in grams is equals to mass in kilograms times 100. This, times 1000. This is a formula that can help you convert the masses that are given from kilograms to grams. So the first one there, so 0.36 kilograms should be equivalent to 0.36 multiplied by 1000, and this is giving us 360 grams. How about 0.504 kilograms? This is 0.504 multiplied by 1000, and that is giving us 504 grams. And then we have 0.672 kilograms, so that is equals to 0.672 by 1000, which is going to give us 672 grams. So after that, you can find the GCD of these three numbers, and then you remember to reconvert back to kilograms. So we have 360, we have 504, and then we have 672. So I will start with 2 because they are all divisible by 2. So 180, 252, and 2 divides 672, 336. Again, all these are divisible by 2. So 90, 126, 168. Again, all these are still divisible by 2. So this is 45, this is 63, and this is 84. Now, not all are now divisible by 2. So this 63 is not divisible by 2 because the last digit is neither 0 nor even. 45 is not divisible by 2. So you can try 3. So 15 to 21. Again, this is 28. So it's not really possible to find a number that can divide all these 15, 21, and 28. So when you reach that, you simply multiply these numbers here. So when you reach that level, we're just going to multiply these. So GCD of 360, 504, and 672 is equals to 2 by 2 by 2. 2 is appearing 3 times, and then by 3. So this is going to be 8. 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 by 2 is 8. And 8 times the last one there, 3, is going to give us 24. So the greatest mass, now in answering the question, the greatest mass is going to be m in kilograms, or let me just give it in grams first. So that is 24 grams. So the greatest mass of sugar that can be taken an exact number of times from the three masses is 24 grams. But now we are supposed to give the answer in kilograms. So we know that mass in kilograms is equals to mass in grams divided by 1000. If you're changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're supposed to be doing the division. So this is going to be 24 divided by 1000, and that is going to give us 0.024 kilograms. So you can see this last example is a little bit more complex, where we have to do the conversions. And after the conversions, you find the GCD, and then after finding the GCD again, you reconvert back to kilograms. So that marks the end. We have that marks the end of the lesson. We have a few questions here to help you with understanding of the concept and just to help you practice, and also to help you gauge whether you've really followed through the session. Otherwise, that marks the end. Goodbye.